Expansion of federal power, bypassing due process, violating constitutional rights, enforcement by intimidation. An increasing number of Americans under IRS scrutiny are being subjected to paramilitary Gestapo-style federal raids, like this one.
Don't move. Sit down. Don't move. Don't move. Federal raid. Federal raid. Federal raid. Federal raid. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Federal raid. Federal raid. Federal raid. Stay where you are. Federal raid. Federal raid. Federal raid. Don't move. Don't move. Please. Get off the phone. Put your hands there. Show your hands.
Surrounded by federal agents, a loaded gun pointed at his head. Those moments of Court Stack's life replay in his nightmares. It was his first and only encounter with law enforcement. He will never forget it. Neither will the other employees at this small Arkansas water bottling company.
I was wondering why would someone point a loaded gun at my face. It made me feel really scared, kind of helpless.
Well, it was almost like you'd watch Cops or something, or watch these drug raid shows where they would kind of come through the door, just everybody storms in and just kind of pushing everybody to the side.
First of all, it was ridiculous. I mean, there was nobody here that needed manned with firearms or to be guarded.
I remember thinking, to me, it was almost like something you would see in a fictional movie. I couldn't believe what was occurring. To an extent, I felt like I was in a